Hey fam! In this video, we look at 7 ways to get back on track when you're falling off or when you feel overwhelmed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up if you like it, and share with your friends and family. Let's get into today's video. Hey fam, how are you doing today? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tobi Achudume. If this is your first time here, you are super welcome. I am so excited to have you here with me. So here on this channel, we'll talk about topics, tips and tricks that helps us grow fearlessly to the best versions of ourselves. So if you're interested in topics and tips like that, please click the subscribe button so you get notified when we have new videos up. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming again. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as you have enjoyed the other ones. If you are a viewer and this is your second video or even your first video, please subscribe to this channel so you get notified when we have new videos up. Today we are going to be looking at how to get back on track when you are falling off the reins, because we fall off the reins differently for different reasons and at different times. So we're going to be looking at how to get back on track when that happens. So let's get into this video. So getting back on track could be a challenge. It could be a difficult thing. Getting off or falling off, doing something that you are intentional or you have to do is not always the easiest thing. Take exercise as an example. We have a goal to lose weight, to add muscles, to get fit, or whatever is your exercise goal that you have. When you start out ready to crush that goal, to smash it, and to make sure that you achieve that goal at the time that you want to achieve the goal. But when you go past the 1 day, 2 days break that you should have when you're exercising, coming back from that break could be a tedious task, and I know this for sure. Especially when your break goes into 1 week, 2 weeks, sometimes a month. Getting back is not the easiest. Your body tells you that you are struggling to do this again. The first and second or even a few other days after that are not the easiest time. But then because again you know that you're getting back on track from something that you left for a long time, you're ready for the process to go on it. Same with reading your Bible. You can enjoy the process of reading and studying and fellowshipping and all of that, and then one day maybe you just realize that you had so much to do, and the one thing that you could kick off your to-do list was reading your Bible, and you do it the first day, second day, third day. Getting back to doing it could be a challenge as well, because you've gotten again used to not doing it. So getting back on track from anything that you leave is always a challenge, but it is something that you can do. So it's a doable challenge. It's something that if you put your mind and your effort to doing it, to getting back on track, then you can get back on track. So in this video, we're going to look at 7 ways that you can get back on track. 7 things that you should do to make sure that you get back on track and not fall off again, because even if you fall, it is important to get back up and not stay down. So let's go. Number 1, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for falling off, because you could feel guilty, you could feel angry and upset at yourself for falling off track, especially when it is something that you were so determined to work with, a goal that you were so invested in. When you fall off, it could be you could very easily just be angry with yourself and feel like you failed or you are a failure or something. But that's not the time to do that, because we're trying to pick yourself back up from that fall. It's not the time for you to beat yourself down. It's not the time for you to begin to speak evil or speak ill of yourself in that moment. At that point, what you need to do is be your best friend. What does that mean? It means that you're picking yourself up. You're choosing to forgive yourself for making a mistake of falling off track and getting back on. So you're encouraging yourself, you're speaking life to yourself, you're speaking affirmations to yourself to make sure that you get back on track and forgive yourself for making a mistake of falling off at all. So because there are different reasons why you could have fallen off. It could have been that you were tired, you got overwhelmed, there were other things that you had to do. Sometimes the reasons for falling off could be legit, could be serious, important, or could just be things that you could not just brush past. And so whatever that reason could have been, the first thing that you need to do for yourself is to forgive yourself for even giving yourself the chance to fall off track, because nobody likes to feel like a failure. Nobody likes to feel like you started something and you did not complete it, or you gave up on something, especially when it's something that you are passionate about or invested in. So forgive yourself and be determined to move on, be determined to keep at the journey, to make sure that you actually get to the point of executing that goal. Number 2, review the goal that you have set. You need to have a personal reflection of the goal. So I say review the goal because, again, what you're falling off track of is a goal that you have set for yourself. And so for you to identify the reason why you fell off in the first case, you have to review. So you have to look at what that goal is and the intricacies that goes with the goal. So what's the goal about? What are the steps that you're supposed to take concerning the goal? The mistakes that you have made about the goal, why you have gotten to the point of feeling exhausted about that goal. You need to look at all of those things, which is why reviewing the goal is very important. So with reviewing your goal, you're looking at what the goal is, the parts of the goal, the steps that you need to take towards the goal, the steps that you took and the ones that you have not taken, what led you to the point of feeling overwhelmed or exhausted, to the point of giving up or falling off of that goal. Why you're doing this is to make sure that when you pick yourself back up, you are not going to get to the point of falling off again. So you're determined to make sure that you actually work with your goal. And then number 3 is do not overwhelm yourself. So as we said with the first point, you need to forgive yourself. So in forgiving yourself means that you are not going to overwhelm yourself with so much that you get to overwhelm again. I hope that makes sense. So with goals that you have set for yourself and you see yourself being exhausted, especially when we are just about to get to the last quarter of the year, you almost push yourself to work towards achieving all the things that you were not able to do, and sometimes that could overwhelm you and make you feel like you should not even be doing anything at all. So what I'm trying to say when it comes to the point of not overwhelming yourself means don't punish yourself with so much task because you feel like you need to do all of these things before the year runs out. If you have 1,000 things that you have not been able to do by this point, we don't even have 1,000 days left in the year. So if you give one day to all of the things, you are still not going to be able to do it. So don't overwhelm yourself with all of these things, which is why reviewing your goal in the first case or as the second point is very important, because then you are also able to see what you can still do towards it. It doesn't mean that you are not going to be able to execute all the goals that you have set for yourself, but you are going to be very intentional and careful not to overwhelm yourself so that at the end of the year you are not feeling like a failure. So that means that you are not overwhelming yourself with all the tasks and all the things that you say you were going to do in 12 months and trying to force yourself to do it in 3 months. It also means that you are careful and cautious of actually setting the goals that you can work with in the last 3 months of the year. So be realistic with the goal that you are setting. Be realistic with what you're trying to work with. Make sure that it is something that you are able to do without overwhelm. Number 4, build trust with yourself. So be a person of integrity. When you say yes, let your yes be yes. When you say no, let your no be no. Build trust with yourself means that if you tell yourself that this is what I am going to work on or work with, then you are actually doing it. You're not changing your mind. You are not putting other things above what you said you're going to do. Build trust with yourself, because when you build trust with yourself, then you are able to stand firm with the goals that you set, knowing that because you trust yourself, you are able to work with it. So, like how you trust somebody else, you trust other people because you know that when they say something, they are going to stand by it. Same way with trusting God. You trust God because you know that whatever it is that He has said is what He's going to do. So if you're going to build trust with yourself, you are going to be a person that says, this is what I'm doing, and that is what you're doing. In other words, you're being disciplined with what you say you are going to do. You're being disciplined with yourself. You have self-discipline. So that would mean that the goal that you have reviewed and the one that you have said you're going to work with in the last 3 months or 3.5 months of the year, you are actually going to do it and make up your mind to not fall off track again. Number 4, make sure you're working on something that you are actually passionate about, something that you enjoy, something that you are invested in, because if you are not invested in it, if you're not passionate about it, chances are you're going to fall off again. So that means that whatever it is that you are doing, whatever the goal is that you're trying to execute by the end of the year, it has to be something that interests you, something that you want to work with. You cannot say you want to produce a TV show if you have no interest in that and say you want to do it by the end of the year. By the time you would look at all that has to go into such production, you are possibly going to change your mind about it and not do it. So make sure that you enjoy the process of what you're doing. You enjoy the working process. Make sure it is something that you look forward to doing. You may not enjoy all of the processes, but you enjoy some form of it, because like it or not, you could have a very clear vision of what you want to do, and there are parts of it that you will not enjoy doing. Does not mean you don't enjoy that particular vision. There are just parts of it that you don't like to do. So that being said, make sure that you enjoy the process or some form of the process that goes into working towards that goal that you want to work with. Number 6, make it visual. Make it something that you can see. And in making it visual, I'm not saying go and paint a picture literally on what you want to do. I'm saying make sure it is somewhere that you can see it. So you either write it down, you make it your screensaver, you make a picture, a vision board, a post-it note of what you want to do. Make it something that you can see, because seeing reminds you of what you are working with. If it's just somewhere in the air or somewhere in your brain, you're probably going to forget about it again. So make it something that you can see, make it plain, make it something that you are able to interact with visually. You can see it and remind yourself that this is what you're working with, not just something that is abstract, that is just somewhere in the air that you do not have any form of remembering if you are not looking at it. So write it down, make it plain so that you can run with it when you see it. And then the last thing I'm going to share is that you should celebrate your wins. Celebrate your wins. Don't wait for a big, gigantic win before you celebrate yourself, before you give yourself a pat at the back. I think one of the things that we do as humans is that we wait to have a huge accomplishment before we celebrate ourselves. But you should celebrate every win that you have. When you have a small win, no matter how small you think it is, that is a motivation for you to keep at what you're doing. So celebrate it, no matter how tiny you think it is, no matter how small you think it is, or irrelevant. If it is something that has to do with you moving from point A to point B, then please celebrate it, because you celebrating it tells you that you are working towards your goal, you are seeing results, and you are taking steps. So you're moving forward, you're not stuck, you're not overwhelmed, you're not in one place, you are moving to your destination, and that is very important for you to celebrate. So these are 7 ways to get back on track when you feel like you are falling off, or when you have actually fallen off track, to make sure that you get back on track and execute the goals that you have set. Make sure that you have, or you're working towards living the life that you want to live and being the best version of yourself. So to recap, I'm going to state or list out the 7 points again. So the first point is for you to forgive yourself. So forgive yourself for falling off track for whatever reason it could have been. Forgive yourself, be your best friend. Number 2, review the goal. Review why you fell off track. What were the things that you did or did not do that made you get to the point that you have gotten to now? Number 3, do not overwhelm yourself. Don't punish yourself because you're falling off track and then you have only a few months to execute the goal. Don't punish yourself with too many things to do, because that would only lead to more overwhelm and you falling off again. Number 4, build trust with yourself. Be a person of integrity. Trust yourself to stand by what you say and actually do it. Number 5, make sure you are working on something that you enjoy. Make sure you enjoy some form of the process or all of the process towards what you're working with, so that you do not get tired or overwhelmed. Number 6, make it visual. Make sure you can see the goal that you have set for yourself and you can run with it. And number 7, celebrate your win. Make sure you're celebrating every win, no matter how small or irrelevant you think it is. Please celebrate it. So that will be it for me for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed talking to you about it. Please let me know in the comment section if there are any other tips that you use to get back on track when you fall off or when you feel tired or exhausted. I would love to see it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and share with your friends and family so that we keep growing this space and helping more people to grow to the best versions of themselves. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you in the next one. Till next time, bye.